Hi students, in this video we are going to discuss about the relation between the focal length of the spherical mirror and the radius of curvature. In the previous video we have discussed the important parts in the spherical mirror. Please watch that video for better understanding. Let us discuss two types of rays, paraxial rays and marginal rays. The rays traveling very close to the principal axis and make small angle with it are known as paraxial rays. Here you can see the line joining the center of curvature and the pole, which is known as principal axis. Near to the principal axis we have the light ray, which is known as paraxial ray. So after the reflection, paraxial rays are passing through the focus. At the same time, the rays traveling far away from the principal axis and fall on the mirror far away from the pole are called as marginal rays. Here it is a marginal ray. You can see that marginal ray is far away from the principal axis and it's going to incident on the mirror, which is far away from the pole. These two rays behave differently as shown here, because marginal rays can make large angle after the incident, and that reflected ray is not going to pass through the focus. So the paraxial ray can make the small angle, marginal ray can make the large angle. Now we are going to obtain the relation between the focal length and the radius of curvature. Here we have taken the concave mirror. As we have discussed, C is the center of the curvature of the mirror. Consider the light ray parallel to the principal axis is incident on the mirror at the point M and passes through the principal focus F after the reflection. Since this light ray is parallel to the principal axis, after the reflection it passes through the principal focal point F like this. Now I have included the line which joins the points C and M. The line CM is normal to the mirror at the point M. Let I be the angle of incidence. What is the angle of incidence? It is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. Now CM is the normal line. So here angle is I. Here this ray which is passes through the focus after the reflection is known as reflected ray. Know that already the angle between the reflected ray and the normal is known as angle of reflection. By applying the laws of reflection, we can say angle of incidence is equal to angle of reflection. So here instead of R we can write I itself, because both angles are equal. Now we can write the angle MCP. What is the value of angle MCP? That is nothing but a I. Because here you can see the Z shape. For your understanding, we have the incident ray which is incident on the point M. So M to C we have the normal, C to P. The angle between the incident ray and the normal is I. We know that alternate angles are equal. So here also angle will be equal. So MCP should be I. Likewise, we can write the angle value for MFP. There, how can we get the angle value? Incident ray P to F, F to P. What is the angle between the incident ray and the line MF? There are two angles, 2I. Two I's are there. So I plus I, 2I. Like the previous case, alternate angles are equal. Also 2I. So angle MFP equal to 2I. Now you can see two right angle triangles MCP and MFP. Let us take MP is a perpendicular line because we are considering the paraxial rays which is very near to the pole. So MP can be considered as a perpendicular line. So we can take two triangles as a right angle triangles. So in a triangle MCP, what is the value of tan I? Tan I, that is equal to opposite side. What is the opposite side? PM by adjacent side, that is nothing but a PC. And next triangle MFP, there also you can find the tan value. Their angle is 2I. Opposite side by adjacent side. So what is opposite side? PM by, for this triangle, PF. As the angles are very small, tan I can be taken as I itself. If the angle is very small means in the sine as well as in tan we can substitute that angle itself. Likewise for tan 2I also approximately equal to 2I itself. Since I and 2I are very small angles, we can write it. So here tan is neglected. We can apply the value of I in this expression. So 2 instead of I we can substitute this value because I that is equal to PM by PC, that is equal to PM by PF. In this expression I have substituted the value of I from this expression. So PM can be cancelled. So cross multiplication we can do 2 by PC, that is equal to 1 by PF. You can do the cross multiplication. 2 PF that is equal to PC can be taken that side. PC. Recall the terms related to spherical mirrors. PF, the distance between the pole and the focal point, is known as focal length. So here we can write 2F that is equal to, what is PC? The distance between the pole and the center of curvature. That is only known as radius of curvature. So which is given by the letter R. This expression can also written as F that is equal to R by 2. So it is only the relation between the F and R, that is relation between the focal length and the radius of curvature.